Hello friends, my name is Natalia Porsche, and in this video I will tell you what measures you can take in order to protect your family during President-elect Trump administration. As we all know, the immigration law is changing. It will change dramatically again, just like it did in the past when President Trump will take his office. So if you are undocumented foreign national who is living now in the United States, you can face really harsh consequences of that, of substantial changes that are coming. We are all going to face. Okay, so what can you do in order to help your family to go through this period of life smoothly? Although we know it's not going to be a smooth ride. However, you can always take care of some things that you are, let's say, postponing for a while, which had to be done, and you know you need to do it. Okay, for example, first, if you are eligible for any sort of visa, which will likely change during Trump administration, please apply. For example, if you are eligible for a T visa or a U visa, and we know that this category likely will change, maybe not right away, but likely will change, from 2025. So if you are eligible for U visa, for example, and if you was a victim of criminal activity, for example, domestic violence, and you never apply for a U visa, you never obtain a certificate from a law enforcement agency. So therefore, you need to do it, right? So for example, today I had a client who came in, she was a victim of domestic violence 4 years ago, and asked her, so why you never went through U visa process? She clearly has, record from a shelter. She has a record from a municipal court, and she just said, I don't know, I just never had the time. And I said, well, how that's possible? So now she realized that she is in trouble, actually, and she has also, family here. She has 2 United States citizen children who were born here. So clearly she is facing really difficult situation in 2025. So we will apply for a U visa for her. Okay, so I know that certain cultural things is where men are treated as macho, right? So for example, Latino culture, Eastern European cultures, and that happened to you, and you were a victim of domestic violence. So you need to explore this opportunity to take care of your problems, to take care of your immigration case and fix your situation, because maybe later you will not be able to do this. So this is very important. Number 2, you have to make sure that if you are deported and you have a US citizen children who were born here in the United States, first, you need to appoint a guardian, right? You need to do a guardian paperwork. So if you are deported and your child, for example, is 16 years old and your child wants to finish high school here in the United States, you clearly need to appoint a guardian for him or her. Guardian who will take care of him or her if you are deported. Okay, so that's very important. Number 4, power of attorney. If you are undocumented foreign national in the United States and you own property, you have a house, for example, or a car or a bank account, since you've been living here for a really long time, for example, right? So what you can do is you can do power of attorney for financial reasons, right? For person, you appoint the power to another person who can take care of your financial affairs even on a temporary basis before you figure out what you're gonna do, right? So you don't necessarily need to transfer your property to another person, but you can give a temporary power of attorney to that person to manage your bank account or to manage your property or etc., things like that on your behalf. So therefore, taxes are paid, from your bank account. That person can withdraw from your bank account in order to pay taxes and stuff like that. So this is very, very important. Also, the very important thing is always contact an experienced immigration lawyer, because immigration lawyer can tell you, to suggest you what things do you need to get first, how to react to certain situations, right? If ICE is knocking at your door, what do? Do you answer the door or you don't answer the door? Well, first of all, I say you don't answer the door, right? If they have a warrant, they will let themselves in, right? But, you don't want to be manipulated by a fear that someone, because they wear a uniform, some sort, right? You don't want to be manipulated by that person, sufficient paperwork to get into your house, so they can use different, sort of communication so that you will feel that they are superiors or that you let them in without the warrant. So don't do that unless they have a warrant. Yes, but if they don't have a warrant, and if they have a warrant, they will let themselves in, right? If they don't have a warrant, it's not funny, but you know what why I'm smiling, right? If they don't have a warrant, then you don't need to answer even. You don't need to answer. You don't need to answer any questions whatsoever. And this is the pressure that you guys facing from authority, from law enforcement authority, from ICE authority, that you have to cooperate with them. Yes, you have to cooperate with them, but they have a certain requirements to start your deportation case, right? They have a certain requirements, they have a certain rules that they have to follow. For example, in court, DHS attorney, trial lawyer must prove your case, right? It's not beyond a reasonable doubt, but there is a standard, there is a burden, right? So the government bears a burden in a removal proceeding. So they have to prove that you are removable. You don't need to prove that you are removable. They're the one who bear a burden. And in a lot of instances, we have immigration judges or, DHS lawyer who will get very aggravated when attorney tries to hold, the government to its standard of proof, right? So it depends what circuit you are practicing in if you're a lawyer. But here in the Fifth Circuit where I am, it's very difficult situation, right? Because, for example, I know in some states, some circuits, some federal courts, jurisdiction, the respondent does not bear a burden to prove that he is bondable, right? The burden is on the government. In Fifth Circuit, for example, over here, the burden is on the respondent to prove that he is not a danger to the community and that he has a substantial ties to the United States. So different burden of proof, right? So burden of proof that you are deportable is always on ICE, unless you have a previous order of deportation, which ICE just can enforce. And again, you can ask for asylum, right? In this case, again, so you will face a mandatory detention, of course, mandatory detention, but, an immigration deportation center. However, government still has a burden to prove that you are not eligible for asylum, right? If you apply for asylum. So in this system, we all feel like we have a burden to prove, that we have a burden to defend, That's very, very difficult situations that attorney can always face in immigration courts. But again, keep in mind that the government has a burden to prove. The government has a burden to arrest. The government has a burden to issue warrant, right? You don't have a burden. If you're eligible for asylum, you have to prove your case, of course, yeah, but the government must establish that you are deportable, okay, and inadmissible, whatever allegations they have in NTA. So this is how it works. And again, if you need a consultation, always consult with an experienced immigration attorney. That will help you to face this 2025, a difficult year. And, that advice might save your life, might save your situation, If you're eligible to apply for some sort of relief, do it before January the 20th, right? Do it now. Consult with an experienced immigration lawyer. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you're watching me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, put thumbs up. If you're watching me on Facebook or Instagram, trying to do is help people who are in trouble. We're trying to prevent family separation, which is going to be really hurtful. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you need a consultation from immigration lawyer, you can call my office. It's 228-229-7500. The phone number is down below, or you can go to my website. It's nataliaporschlawfirm.com. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.